Sound is all around us, it's everywhere. I'm taking these sounds from all different kinds of sources, and I'm creating pieces of, I hope, transformative audio. Hi, I'm Marco Perry from Immersive Audio Limited. My speciality is three-dimensional spatial audio. I've explored quite a few avenues of the uses for immersive audio visual experiences with audiences globally, in fact, because I've worked in a number of museums and galleries and art festivals and with other artists all over the world. So I compose, produce and create these immersive audio experiences completely originally. And I do that in here, in my sonic shed, which is basically a big ex-light industrial building down in Wandsworth, SW18. Amazingly, I put this together so long ago and I haven't actually changed it. I mean, I've added some speakers, but I haven't actually changed much of it. I'm not a great collector of equipment. I'm really after, will it do the job for me? Will it enhance my sound? Is it going to allow me to do more what I want to do? Is it going to be allowed to be flexible? So you're sat in it yourself. And what it is, it consists of a ring of 12 loudspeakers on the bottom, a ring of 12 loudspeakers in the center, sort of at ear height, and a ring of 12 loudspeakers on the ceiling pointing down, another further 5 loudspeakers on the ceiling pointing directly down and sort of inwards. From that ambisonic sound field in here, we can create binaural information if we want for headphones, along with being able to adapt it. I can do Atmos in here. I've been approved. The man from Dolby's been in and he said yes. So it's quite flexible. It's a flexible space. I have had a lot of equipment through my hands and I still have a lot of equipment which I'm using. And as I've got no real plans to change what I do, essentially I'm just going further into a journey into sound, deeper into the immersive audio experiences. I've kept the boxes that are going to help me to do that. I wanted to push the boundaries and I wanted to be a pioneer of the new technology and the new ways of working. I felt that after I'd had a near-death experience myself and was in a coma for 6 weeks, that I wanted to do something more useful with my time, because I do believe in the sound that we have all around us, its ability to change people's lives. And, you know, if your life's about anything at the end of it, it's about who you spent time with. It's about what experiences you shared. And I've witnessed firsthand some of the experiences that I've created and how they affect people. I'm always interested, I'm always fascinated to see how people react and respond. The experience that I found in my recovery from my coma and the research that I did kind of joined all the dots for me. It kind of made me fully aware of the state of the industry as it was at that time. This is before Dolby Atmos, and it's before the kind of the explosion that's now taking place. I could see this was going to happen. It was so obvious to me. Through my good friend Dave Hunt, I found out about 3D Audioscape. I'd known Dave many, many, many years ago in the analog days, and this was what he was developing. Pretty much, it's like a textbook of how to do ambisonics in Max MSP. I was still evangelizing about spatial audio, and it was still difficult to win people over. It wasn't really until Bjork did her Museum of Modern Art exhibition that people really took me seriously, because when she came in, she partly understood it anyway from an aesthetic point of view, from an effect point of view, from what the possibilities were that could be done. And she was going down that route, and because I had a good connection with Bjork and her management, who I'd known for so many years, they gave me the opportunity to go to New York and to design this installation in MoMA, which was like, wow, big experience for me, massive learning curve. So I did the theatre for her, I did a cinema for her where we upmixed all the old video sound files. And I put the whole thing together and organised the team in MoMA and worked with the staff there and spent several weeks out there. I was recently invited to take a gallery at the London Design Biennale at Somerset House I presented a work that I've done called Soul Trees, and then I did a work called Disruptive Harmony, which is quite meditative. They're both quite meditative, in fact. After that, I edited down a rather longer piece, which is called Conflict of Peace. And then my fourth piece was called Coma. And it was quite a personal work to me, but I was really glad to be able to show those works in an immersive audio visual experience kind of way. I met some fantastic people in that gallery. We had 25,000 people through the doors over 4 weeks, over a month. The theme of the exhibition, I was told, was resonance. Well, resonance is what I'm all about. That's what I'm all about doing right now, is creating pieces that resonate with audiences on deeper levels so that they can understand and see more deeply inside themselves and inside others as well. It's about communication, of course. But I'd like to thank, first and foremost, David Clayton, who is my longtime collaborator and good friend, for help with musical composition. I'd also like to thank Douglas Stokes, who's responsible for the motion graphics and some of the video, and also to Dan Conway, who's responsible for motion graphics on Coma, and also to Spy Austin and to Anna Podolak. So she's my good friend and colleague, and has helped me also with support and some of the design elements of the exhibition. My first RME box, which is ADI 8DS. Now, this box I bought to essentially break in and break out of my G5, I think it was I had. And I like the fact that you've got 48K, 24 bits, and I've got a little bit of white Chinagraph on there. That's the sort of thing I would have done in those days. And those are my settings, and I just left it there and it worked. And that's pretty much what RME still does today, just sits there and works. So I've got a Muddy Face over here, which is a very handy box. I've got Total Mix on the laptop there, which gives me enough control over balance and volume that I can take pairs or individual channels, address them discreetly from the mixing desk, from Pro Tools, and I can use Nuendo as well. Yeah, the Total Mix is really useful. For me, I use it in a really basic way, just for volumes and balance and between stems, for example. It's really useful, it's instant, and it just gives you control without actually having to have another bit of hardware in the system. The clocking with the RME is always spot on. It's never an issue. The ADAC format, which is I was using that on this thing, hello again, was really good for its time. And when I was using that at that time, that really was the way to go forwards. But these days I'm on MADI, and I really like MADI as a format for working in here and also externally when I go out, if I do live shows or anything like that. I think the M32 is one of the finest designs. I really do. I love the M32 DA. I've had several more. When I was running installations globally for Bjork, I had a few mounted in different installations in different racks all over the world. I think I've got about 6 now, and I use them extensively. But again, you don't play with them. They just sit there and do the job, and they sound great. And the reason I like the M32 DAs is because the original ones, the 2U ones, it's because I can see what I'm doing with those. My eyesight's not what it used to be. And it's an instant kind of reassuring thing to see those little green lights going. I really love RME because I think it does, as a firm, it really caters for all the requirements of anyone that's pro. It's just reliable, you can trust it to do the job, as I have done in different locations globally and just left it there for months on end sometimes. and it sat there and done its job every single day without failure, without a single failure. The M32 DAs have worked absolutely faultlessly for me and beautifully. Everywhere I've used them, I set them up once, and that's it. I have had the opportunity to try out the M32 Pro. So I have used that box, and I appreciate that it's only half the size of an M32. It's also less weight, so if I'm flying or if I'm going somewhere overseas with a rack full of gear, it's taken up half the space. Certainly a very slimline unit, beautifully designed, and it's a one knob, one touch operation. One of the things I really love about RME as a firm is that they make products that last. It's kind of an endearing quality, and it's something that's lacking in a lot of manufacturers. And I know there are other guys out there that are using old RME units that are still functioning perfectly, in perfect working order. And my M32s, which I absolutely love, I mean, I think they're fantastic. What a fantastic design. I'm just about to embark on a large outdoor installation in Cardiff Castle, within the grounds of the castle. I have 3 towers, and I have a huge sound system, and I have some live and pre-recorded program material to feed into that system, and a sound stage. So it's quite a lot of technical calculating to get this all right and get it all working. But I can assure you that RME is going to be in there. So it's the only one that I'm going to be using as DA conversion, and also AD conversion as well, because we're going to need to feed MADI streams both to a live rig and to a pre-recorded rig, and also mix them on 2 separate mixers. Another event I've got coming up is a live audio-visual experience at an art location in Norfolk called Houghton Hall. We're doing in Houghton Hall is something that's going to stand for 3 months over winter and over Christmas this year. And that, again, is really exciting to me. The world of sound for me has been my most beautiful experience that recurs constantly. Sound recording, sound reproduction, and creating sound. And that can be done so simply. It doesn't have to be to anyone else's constraints. Don't let anybody else tell you how you should do something. Do it yourself. All you need is a microphone and a recorder of some description, and you can get started. And you can explore the world around you. You can record it, you can manipulate it. You can do it so easily these days. All you need is a little bit of software, and you can be absolutely doing some really artistic, really amazing things. And you'll surprise yourself with what you'll discover, and what you'll discover about yourself and the people around you and the world around you, which is full of sound.